Hey guys, happy Sunday. It's our sweat workouts. We got multi-part workouts here. So let's go through part one. We got slam balls, jumping lunges, burpee deadlifts, and 40 seconds on your machine of choice. All right, so slam balls, this is meant to be kind of light because it's not just about picking it up, but also getting some downward momentum. So this is just like kind of a power snatch. You go from the ground, hip drive overhead, and then back down. Right, so again, I don't want to see you just pick it up and then drop it. Try to actively push it back down as well, all right? So that's movement one. If you're not sure on the weight here, go lighter for this so you can get even more downward force. Then we have jumping lunges. So jumping lunge, if you watch from the front, make sure you're not on a tight rope, okay? So we still wanna have a little bit of width, about shoulder width in our feet. In the bottom position, the back knee should be right under the hip. Front shin should be vertical or ankle under the knee, right? So this is that bottom position. You're jumping straight up. So think you're like a piston. Your torso is straight up and down. I can push through both feet and jump and switch, okay? So I jump, switch, the knees kiss the ground, so good control, good torso position. You don't wanna be leaning forward, okay? If that's hard for you, that's fine. You can just do a standard stepping lunge. You stand up, step back, but the standards are the same with the position, okay? Try to keep your chest up. So that's gonna be our lunge. From there, we have a burpee deadlift. So burpee deadlift is jump back, burpee's normal, jump forward, and then stand up. So this is a little bit harder because if I jump forward and my feet are behind me, it's hard to stand up with a good back position. So you're trying to land here, stand back up, but just like a burpee with a deadlift variation at the end. These aren't super heavy, just annoying. All right, so work through those and then 40 seconds machine of choice. So I say try to work on the machine that you need to work on the most. That's part one. All right, so part two, guys, we're gonna have three movements. We're gonna have dumbbell plank drag throughs. We're gonna have grasshoppers and parallel shoot throughs. So some gymnastics, a lot of core work. So the dumbbell plank drag through looks like this. If you look where I set up here, I'm in a normal plank and the dumbbell is underneath my chest, okay? I'm gonna reach under my body and pull it across, trying to keep my hips stable as I come across, okay? What I don't wanna see is this high hip position, right? As we go back and forth, okay? So trying to keep a nice solid plank, coming back and forth. That's gonna be movement one. Movement two, going into another plank position is the grasshopper. These are shockingly hard on the core. We're trying to touch our shin to our opposite forearms. There's a little bit of mobility here. I joke it's like a breakdance move because it's quick. Okay, there's a moment, if you pay attention, where both feet are off the ground. I'm just on my hands while my feet are switching back and forth. So what we're trying to avoid is the front foot touching and stopping here, right? A lot of people do this, okay? But we want to see quick. Okay, so if you can't make actual contact, you can just get close, but keep that same cross feeling, right? Again, this is a core movement. Your shoulders are going to be tired, right? Because we're then going into another core plank movement, which is the parallel shoot through. Okay, so one thing I remind people here is the width of the parallettes. You want your arms to be straight up and down. If they're wide, right, you're not going to get as much distance or able to push. So when you sit up, you want it right under your shoulders, pushing up, okay, when you start a plank. Okay, what a parallel shoot through looks like is this. I'm going to drive my feet through, end up in a reverse plank. Again, nice high hips. Watch my shoulders. See how they're slightly behind my wrist? As I come back, I tuck. Now my shoulder's slightly in front of my wrist. Okay, this is harder than it looks. You have to pull the knees in aggressively. So if you struggle with this, try to start here and just feel that swing back and forth. Or you can even walk between the two until you can make it more dynamic. Right, so those are three. Those are gonna be very difficult. Rest as needed, focus on good quality. And then our last setup, a few movements here. One is a dumbbell glute bridge, right? So that's the dumbbell on the hips, heels are close to the butt. Squeeze your butt hard at the top and really just try to, I always focus on that. I always say people stop here, push as high as you can, really squeeze in the butt, feel the hamstrings, all right? So that's gonna be the dumbbell glute bridge. And then we also have tuck jumps. So tuck jumps are a great soft on the feet, hip flexor strengthening movement. So arms Okay, try to be soft on the feet. I don't want you slamming onto the ground, all right? But pull as high as you can. For some people, just working on a pogo hop is a good variation, all right? So, gonna get sweaty today. Have fun with it, guys. See you next week.